Hello everyone, it's Georgia here, and this is the Bible journaling page project for my March 2021 virtual faith art retreat, Hosanna in the Highest. Now I'm kind of cheating a little bit because this video is going to go live on Saturday, and this is actually the page that I am journaling today is actually my Palm Sunday page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create most of the page, and the video will go live on Saturday, but then on Sunday when I go to Mass and I come home with my blessed palm, I will then add part of the palm to my page. So if you follow any of my social places, and all my links are down below in the comments, I will later on post pictures of the page with the palm actually attached. But for now, all I'm doing is actually the decorated page. And if you do not have access to a palm, that's absolutely fine, because you can just create the page as I will be doing it today without the addition of the greenery, which I know it's crazy, the things I stick in my Bibles. And to make things worse, and I'm especially looking at Lydia, who I think at this point already realizes what's going on and is sitting down saying, oh my goodness, Georgia, what are you doing? Yes, I'm in the real Bible. This is not what I call the demonstration Bible. It's not one of my art supply Bibles. This is my real, absolute, my heart journaling Bible, and I'm using that today because I wanted to create the proper page. I don't want to go and make another one and just demonstration ones. This is the real thing, but it's okay because I'm going to take it a step at a time, very slowly. I'll be stopping in between steps to gather myself, so it will be okay. Now, what I have already done in preparation, and you possibly do not need to do this because we're going to be using acrylic paints, but just because I've had a few mishaps in my Lent art journal, I want to be really, really safe here because, again, this is the real thing. So I have painted the page with clear gesso, a nice thick coat. For some reason, there's this blob here that just will not dry. Don't know what's going on there. But I have painted the entire page with clear gesso just to prep it and double make sure that nothing actually goes through the page. Now, you have a few different options if you are working on a Palm Sunday page. I have gone to the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verses 12 to 16, and my choice is mainly because it was very conveniently placed on the page. There's nothing else going on that I'm thinking, oh, I really, really, really need to journal this as well. What am I going to do? Because this needs to be a full page for me, and it conveniently starts at the top of the page. I don't have a bit of the event on each page, so this is perfectly spaced for me. So that is my logic for choosing the Gospel of John's recount. See, there's always such deep thinking behind what I do. I'm just going to mask off some of the passage, not the entire thing, but okay, so I'm just going to go from here. Jesus coming to Jerusalem, so they took branches of palm trees, etc., etc. Sorry, I'm not making light when I say etc. I'm thinking while I talk, and we all know that does not go very well sometimes. And I'm going through all the way down to, as it is written, do not be afraid, daughter of Zion. Look, your king is coming, sitting on the donkey's colt, because I need that. I need that on my page. And then just a little bit in the center. And I am, once again, I am not endorsing this product. I don't get anything for it. I just like to tell you what I like and what I don't like. And I am using the Sizzix Makers tape once again, actually marketed as a die cutting help, a die cutting aid to hold your dies down when you're cutting. But I have found that it is the most marvelous Bible journaling masking tape. So Sizzix, yay, thank you. All right, now what I want to do first of all, before I start painting, is I want to add a bit of music to my page. And I think at this point, this is my thinking, I'm going to paint a lot of palm fronds on the page. I am going to have Hosanna in the Highest written down the margin here over the palms. Or maybe actually, no, I'm not going to do that because I did that last year or the year before. I can't remember when it was. No, it was the year before when I actually stuck a palm in my Bible. That wasn't last year because last year we were in lockdown. Last year there were no palms. So 2 years ago when I stuck a palm in my Bible, I painted one giant palm frond, painted this red and wrote Hosanna in the highest. This year I think I'll do something different. I'm going to paint lots of palm fronds, which is kind of similar to the Lent journal page that I did last year. I'm going to add some music and I will put Hosanna in the highest, but I'm still thinking on that, making it up as I go. So I have this, I won't call it a napkin or a serviette because it's actually a tissue. And I have already separated the layers, so I've taken the white layer off, so this is just a single layer now. And I think what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to grab my water brush, that way I can brush it with water and tear it, having some control but getting that torn look. And I kind of want that corner here, so I'm painting with water like this, remembering that this part here is masked off anyway. And I'm just going to do this. Oops, it's got water on the page now. So doing it with a water brush first gives you that option of just being able to tear it, but still having control over where the tear is going. So that's going to be up this corner. Leave that to dry. And then I want this corner as well. And this corner I can make bigger because I don't have any of the words that I'm masking to keep clear. So I'm going to do a bit of a rough kind of thing there. And rip that off, and there you go. So that's going to be down here. I like it. So what I'll do now is grab my clear gesso, because this is my favorite sticking medium of choice at the moment. And I'm going to paint some gesso in this corner here. Well, I need to be careful. I'm going to lift this tape off actually, because I don't want to be gluing it over the top of the tape. That would be disastrous. So peel the tape off a little bit for now. And then just lay my tissue paper over the top. And then just use a bit more gesso on my brush to rub the tissue paper down, oops, and smooth it over the page, whilst adding a layer of gesso over the top to stick and seal it. And then I'm going to repeat the same thing for this bottom corner. Right, and when that's done, I'll just let it dry. I'm going to use my heat gun a little bit and then just give it some time to dry properly on its own. So once my tissue paper has dried, I've stuck the maker's tape back down. I am now going to paint some palm leaves all over the page. So Dina Wakley in lime, the Stamperia dark green, and evergreen from Dina Wakley. And I might also get a little bit of white and maybe a little bit of yellow. Not quite sure where I'm going with the colours yet, but we'll see. It will happen as it happens. And then what I want to do is grab my brush and, starting with the light colours, I'm just going to randomly paint some palm fronds on my page. Now I'm not necessarily making them too big and dark. As you can see, I have not covered the words that I'm painting over with any white gesso or anything of the sort, so I'm letting the words show through. So all I'm doing is just like a line for the center bit, and then lots and lots of smaller lines coming out and sort of getting longer as they get closer to the bottom. sort of. She says and then doesn't do it. Now I'm going to use the darker green and just, yeah, do a really, really big one over all the others. Might actually dry those first. So I'm doing a really, really long one. Which is interesting because I'll actually end up having my real palm frond over the top of it. So it'll be kind of like, well, my thoughts at the moment, but who knows, it will be sort of like a shadow underneath the real palm that I will stick over this part of the page. Such is my thought right now, but things change over time, as we all know. And I just want to lighten it up with a little bit of just some white highlights. Just because it was looking a little bit dark on my page. Okay, and then I'm going to, getting a bit of paint on my brush, dabbing most of it off, and then with that almost dry brush, it's not really there, is it? I'm just doing some in the background kind of little palm fronds, just to add background so that you can barely see them, but they're kind of there. If you have a stamp, this would be a great time to use it. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and let that dry. Okay, so while that was drying, I had a lot of paint. You may have noticed I had a lot of extra paint on my little pretend palette. So I went and did the thing that we encourage a lot in my Facebook group, God's Refrigerator, when we talk about the amount of paint that we put out and then don't use. I went and just painted some little backgrounds in the notepads that I have sitting on my desk. So at some point when I need a background for a card or something, I've got this little ombre shaded little background thing that I've already painted using leftover paint. Never waste paint. So now what I'm going to do is just peel off my masking tape, and I'm putting out a bit of gold paint. This is the Dina Wakley Gilt. And I am going to just use that gold to highlight all around the edge of my page. And I might even do just a little bit of around the actual verse. Right, a little bit here around the music. And with my really thin brush, I'm just going to add a few little gold highlights to some of the palms. This is what you call a simple page, that you're going all out on the simple page. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my head somehow. This is a nice quick one to create. So when you find yourself, you know, over these coming days with so much going on and you think, oh, I don't have time to do any Bible journaling, but I really, really would love to get into it just a little bit, because, you know, the whole peace bringing effect. You can do a page like this. It really doesn't take long. Okay, and then finally, now I've grabbed my Kaisercraft metallic gel pens, and I'm going to use this light green one, and I am just going to kind of do a scribble circle around my chosen verse. And then I'm going to grab a gold colored one and kind of do the same thing over the top of that. Now there's a bit of a secret journaly thing going on here. You may or may not see it. Good on you if you do. Right, then one final thing is, I did all this off camera, I'm sorry. I tore up some pieces of tea-dyed paper, and on them I wrote one with "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, Hosanna in the highest." And what I am going to do here is just stick them to the edge of my page. And I'm not sticking them down completely. I am just gluing the very edge of them so that they will be able to open up. And I don't need to tell you why. I'm sure you all know by now the logic behind everything I do. And there we have it. Our Palm Sunday Bible journaling page. Now this has been for, especially for the March 2021 Virtual Faith Art Retreat, Hosanna in the highest. But of course you don't have to be at the retreat to enjoy making such a page. If you are interested, and we are still between the dates of the 25th and the 29th of March, come on over to Facebook and look up March 2021 retreat / Hosanna in the highest. It's a separate group in Facebook. Come and join the group and you can join us. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you are painting a page of your own, I would love to see yours. All my social links are down below, and of course, if you're not in my group God's Refrigerator, why not? It's going to be my new catchphrase. Come on over and join us. Knock on the door, answer the secret question. Cannot stress that enough. If you don't answer the question, we will not let you in. Answer the question. It's quite a simple one, and we'll let you in and you can create along with us. I will be putting my palm into this page come Sunday, and I will upload photos of the completed page with palm on all my social pages, again in the comments below or in the description below. So thank you again for joining me, and please do that thing, the like, the subscribe, the comment. Appreciate all the feedback and all the hellos and knowing that you guys are out there. And thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.